So is that visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but my camera isn't. But okay, terrific.
Yes,
hey, I know we're running a little late, and I'm seeing 10:18, so I'll try to speed things up. In the summary, thank you to Larry to ask me to join. The summary of this is really, I wanted to highlight the importance of advanced manufacturing to innovation. I would assert that you can't spell innovation without manufacturing. The fourth manufacturing revolution is real, and it will fundamentally change the global economy. I wanted to share what the US federal government is doing. Our real key approach here in this space is to have industry-led public-private partnerships. And our national strategic plan, we have a quadrennial plan that came out in 2018. I'm part of the White House team that would be refreshing this plan starting next year. But if you look at our plan, it really is about three things: technology, people, and if you do those things right, you get the third, which is building ecosystems. So this is the talk, and it's pretty visual, so don't blink. I do want to go through a number of things, but really those are the key things. Since I saw that the other speakers had a bit of an introduction, we all wear a couple of hats, and I lead the NIST Office of Advanced Manufacturing. NIST is a part of the federal government and the Department of Commerce, the National Institute of Standards and Technology. Our role is to promote US innovation and industrial competitiveness. Our wheelhouse is measurement science, the standards body for the United States, and technology transfer. We are the federal lead for technology transfer. So this is a different view. If you see on the top right, that's a picture of part of the NIST main campus in Gaithersburg, Maryland, just north of Washington, D.C. It's about 600 acres, 60 some laboratory buildings. That tower in the background, that's where my NIST office is at. But this slide is to show you kind of a different view to emphasize how we work with collaboration. We have a number of joint institutes and center of excellence. So this is the footprint here. Besides the NIST main campus, and the middle one is the NIST Boulder campus. It's all about centers of excellence. Little fun fact, the one on the bottom right, that is the NIST facility at Fort Collins. We have the Time Lords, so we keep the master clocks, and that is synchronized, that's pinged by your computer, your cell phone, the GPS system, 16 billion times a day. People use NIST to synchronize it. You probably don't even realize it. It's either directly or indirectly, but the fun fact there is that that is the world's oldest operating radio station. Last year it celebrated its 100th year of operation. So if you have one of those things like a clock that says atomic clock, automatically synchronized, it's synchronized to the radio signal that's coming out of that center. So I just, I always find it fun to do a little fun fact. And if you're thinking about advanced manufacturing, there's really three parts at NIST. The NIST laboratory programs, Manufacturing USA, this is the program that I established and I lead today, and the Manufacturing Extension Partnership. So first, a bit about manufacturing and innovation and why I asserted up front that you can't spell innovation without manufacturing. It's really not about manufacturing or high tech. Manufacturing is high tech. And so there's two fundamental reasons. One of it is, even though it's, quote, only 12% of GDP, it has a huge economic multiplier, the highest economic multiplier effect of any sector. So that's very important for the economy. But this is the interesting side for innovation. A third of our economic growth is due to innovation and manufacturing. If you are a scientist or engineer, 2/3 of you are employed by manufacturing companies. 2/3 of the R&D spend, 70% of patents. So where innovation is happening is manufacturing. So that really is part of the key thing. And the other part, emphasizing that manufacturing is not a peanut butter spread, it really is clustered. So two quick slides. Where is manufacturing in the United States? Because it drives home again the cluster or ecosystem approach. It's really the Great Lakes region, North Carolina, California, and Texas. If you add all of these up and put U.S. manufacturing on a boat somewhere, that would be the world's 18th largest economy all by itself. If you look at it from percentage, it really highlights that Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, and such, those are the high intensity things. And if you drill down, it's because those states have multiple clusters, multiple ecosystems. This is the flip side. Jobs are important, and these are the states that have the highest impact related to manufacturing jobs. So it's incredibly important to these particular states. I want to emphasize here why the rules are changing. And in every revolution, there are winners and losers. The old technologies are getting replaced. They're disrupted by the new technologies. So many people have heard about this Industry 4.0, the fourth manufacturing revolution. This is a little chart to explain really what that is, that even Industry 1.0, it had a huge worldwide impact far beyond the home of, say, Birmingham, England, because it fundamentally changed economies and raised the standards of living. So notice on this, the cycles of innovation are happening faster than ever before. And I mean, Industry 3.0 was really the 70s and 80s. Industry 4.0 is about cyber physical system and the Internet of Things and networking. I'm grabbing two citations from the World Economic Manufacturing Forum, one about jobs, and this one is about technology. Because if you can get wrapped up in the hype, and I like this as an explanation of those people that are involved in technology development. A standard way to approach this is the S-curve of technology maturation. And why this is, something beyond marketing is it's a number of these disruptive technologies of computing, of big data, analytics, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, quantum. They are reaching the peak or near the peak all at the same time. So it's really a story of convergence. And it's good to have convergence. But if you have convergence, but the economics aren't there, you can't form businesses. So the mashup on the right is just to show that smart sensors, the decrease in cost over the last decade, have dropped by 50%. The decrease in cost of processing has dropped by 60 times, not 60%, 60 times. The cost of bandwidth, 40 times. The cost of storage, 50 times. So this is enormous fuel beyond is driving the convergence of these critical technologies. And why is that important? Well, if you're thinking about ecosystems, if you're thinking about jobs of the future, this notion that many countries have is, well, manufacturing is over there. We don't make anything anymore. We're losing jobs. And in fact, if you're part of the old economy, old technology, yes, this came out, 2020 World Economic Forum on the future of jobs. There will be 85 million manufacturing jobs lost in the coming decade. There's also going to be 97 million new manufacturing jobs in these new areas. So hugely disruptive. And if you're part of these technologies, it's a growth area. If you're not, if you're part of the technologies getting disrupted, it is very, very disruptive, and your business will decline, or you may go out of business. So that's a moral imperative to at least be aware of these things. If you're talking about the technologies themselves and why the administration has identified these as part of the industries of tomorrow, these are really these technologies, and they are enablers, not only if an innovator is thinking about doing something related to that technology, but just for how you operate your business or how you launch your business. These are key enablers, and they're business opportunities for these developing. For existing companies, just unrelated, their product or services unrelated to these technologies, just using these technologies. This recent survey, it had profound effects on reducing labor costs, reducing injuries, growing new revenue streams. So it's a real valid reason why I'm arguing that everyone should be aware of what's happening here with the fourth manufacturing revolution. So two quick things. Well, How can you get help? A big part of this is just one example from the NIST laboratory programs. The gold standard for cybersecurity is the NIST cybersecurity framework. These are free, publicly available document. This 730-page, three-volume guide, it's the detailed cybersecurity implementation guide for manufacturers. Why am I emphasizing that? Because as the Internet of Things, as more and more things get added to, oh, your machine has all these smart sensors, let's stick it on the network. Wow, it's so much more productive. It's opening up doors for risk. And make no mistake, 99% of manufacturers in the United States are small manufacturers. They don't have full awareness of their cybersecurity risk. So this is an important thing. And who can you go to get help in this? Well, we have the National Network of Manufacturing Extension Partnership Centers. Our prior, I think it was Lynn speaking from Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech for the state of Georgia is the home of the Georgia MEP. So NIST is the federal sponsor of the MEP network, and they have a cybersecurity program, but they are also the place to go for free advice or free consulting, or if you want a bespoke solution, they will help you with your business. So, and suddenly I'm not moving. I want to turn to Manufacturing USA, which Larry mentioned, because MEP is about technology transfer of existing technologies. Manufacturing USA is about speeding up and de-risking these new technologies. It's all about this TRL 4 to 7, the applied research. The federal government invests over 150 billion, B with a B, in funding for basic science, basic research. That is a national good. What we want to do is to have a return on investment of those taxpayer dollars by speeding up and de-risking and getting it into the private sector. This little stylized chart is really to show that the goal of a manufacturing innovation center is not for the federal government to have the institute do research for the feds. It's really there to set up a neutral convening ground where industry and academia can collaborate effectively on game-changing, innovative projects. And so what are those projects? It's industry-led, industry picks them. It's a neutral collaboration space. When nearly 30 years in industry, it was hard for me to work with other companies. It would be impossible for me to do pre-competitive collaborative research with a competitor. Here, you can do these things because the feds have set up this neutral convening ground. Where we are today, this is very exciting. 2 new institutes were just added. Also, the program was reauthorized by Congress. Larry, in update, the federal government can continue federal support of centers after they've started up, presuming they meet performance goals. So an independent performance review is done, and we've already started renewing a number of centers. The 2 newest ones that just came online this month is in bioindustrial manufacturing with a location in St. Paul, Minnesota, and cybersecurity in manufacturing in Austin, Texas. So there are now 16 manufacturing innovation institutes. And if you take a look at those in total, of the 14 active, this is the results from last year. We now have over 2,000 member organizations. So for example, University of Michigan is 1 member organization. So that's one of those now over 2,000 members. Last year, 561 major collaborative research projects. I love that our 2/3 of the members are from industry, manufacturers, and more than 2/3 of those are small. And really, if you take a look at the snapshot, the 133 million in federal funds, the co-investment of non-federal, and most of this is from industry, it's running over a 2-to-1 match in co-investment, and that's because industry is recognizing real value. I want to close with the strategic plan in the future. This again, if you go to the URL or just Google National Strategic Plan, it's on the White House. This is really 3 goals: new manufacturing technologies with 15 national objectives and 15 priority topics. The second is the manufacturing workforce, the skills. And if you do those two things right, it's all about clusters, about innovation clusters, ecosystems, and that's all about the manufacturing supply chains. So just to add a little bit to this, the administration really put this together into the industries of the future: artificial intelligence, quantum, advanced communications, advanced manufacturing. That's what's in the president's budget request, and that just got marked. So we're talking about the what the feds will be funding in FY21, and both the House and the Senate have done their markups in the past week. So in terms of investments, these are the priorities going forward. And just to close here, this is such an exciting time for digital manufacturing because it's again the image of manufacturing. This is not the giant factories making that one thing. It's really the democratization of tools to design and make it. And I love the growth of commercial maker spaces and innovation centers. And it's really changing the rules. So to me, who are the future innovators and manufacturers? These are those people. If you can think it, you can design it. If you can design it, you can make it. And that to us is what manufacturing is all about. So with that, Larry, thank you so much. Our website is manufacturingusa.com. We also have the federal-wide portal, manufacturing.gov. And I'm Mike Molnar from NIST.gov, unrelated to Larry, but gosh, we all wish we were. Thank you, Larry.
Well, thank you for that. And thank you for your presentation. It's very inspiring. It makes me want to go right out on the shop floor and start making things. So, you know, I'm glad that you mentioned the MEP program. That's been a long-standing program, and I'm very familiar with it. And I think for the first time today, I heard the technology readiness level scale. I'm glad you brought that up. And I'll just add to that, there's the technology readiness scale. Is your technology ready to be manufactured? And that's a manufacturing readiness scale, which needs to run somewhat concurrently with the technology readiness scale. So, and then you also have the investment readiness scale. Is it investment ready? Is it mature enough to attract investment? And so those three things are important. And maybe in next year's conference on innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship, we can talk a little bit more about those. So thank you very much, Mike and Julie, Ed, and Lynn. This kind of ends this roundtable session. I think I brought us in fairly closely to on time, so I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Hanadi. And thanks again for everyone who presented, and thank you all for listening.
Thank you so much, Professor Larry, and thanks for all the presenters. You are really the think tank for our conference. We are honorable to have you in this conference. This conference is a largest event gathering more than 80 practitioners from around 20 countries. And we are really appreciate your potential and your participations in our conference. Great thanks to Professor Larry to make it in a very good manner and smoothly sessions. Thank you so much. And now we will handling the second sessions. Thank you, Professor Larry.
You're welcome, thank you.
Mike. Jeff? I think it's Jeff there. Larry, did you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Yes, you can invite Jeff. Jeff, it's the next sessions. Would you mind please to hold this session just for a moment till Professor Michael Postlers is chairing the session? Just we've been in contact with him. I don't see him in the listed there.
Sure.
You can welcoming the Jeff and Dr. Mohammed Abdellatif. It's the first presenter. Dr. Mohammed.
So while we're waiting, this is Larry Molnar again, and going back, I guess, to the last 4 or 5 presenters that we had, I thought there was a good representation about programs that that help the entrepreneur and the innovator. And although there was a bit of a focus on universities, the universities that did present are actually conducting programs that have practitioners on the staff at the universities who then work within the ecosystem. So they're really institutions that are serving the ecosystem. And I thought it was interesting from 2 of them, Carmen Quigg from the University of Michigan and Ed Morrison from Strategic Doing, both talked about the communities and how the ecosystem really resides in the community and is a very diverse, dynamic, or I guess you might be able to use the terminology of biology and say organic type of activity, and actually as you put the different components of the ecosystem together, it becomes something that takes on a life of its own, and it's not any one person or any one institution or organization. It's the sum of its parts. And I thought that...
Excuse?
Yes.
Yes, Professor Mike, it's online. You need to say hi to you to start the sessions.
Good, good. Well, then I'll turn it over to them, and I'm sure that
yes,
we'll have much more interest.
Yes, we hope so. Professor Mike?
I don't see him online.
بروفيسور معك. اهلا دكتور محمود، شلونك؟
اهلا بيك دكتور، اخبار حضرتك ايه؟
Professor Mahmoud?
Yeah, it's me. I'm here.
Yes. More than welcome. I think Professor Mike, it's there. It's there. Let Professor Mike, it's holding the sessions. Welcome, Professor Mike. Mike? Professor Mike. Hi, Professor.
Okay, how about now?
Yes, okay.
We're all good now?
Yes.
موجود.
Okay, we're running a few minutes late, so let's get started. The first speaker is Dr. Mahmoud Abdellatif, and he is the director for the Center of Entrepreneurship at Qatar University. So Mahmoud, if you want to get started, you've got 15 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Mike. Thank you, Dr. Hanadi. And it's my pleasure to participate in this conference. I will start sharing my slides so you can see my presentation. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for allowing me to speak in this international conference. And it's my pleasure to explain our experience here in Qatar University. Before we starting, I'd like to identify where is the universities in the entrepreneurship ecosystem. We know entrepreneurship ecosystem, as Professor Laren mentioned before, that it has two words, entrepreneurship and ecosystem. Entrepreneurship often mentioned to starting a new business, allocating resources, or taking initiative. When we talk about entrepreneurs, we always talk about the person who took initiative, who is willing to bear the risk. This is the entrepreneurs. And when we talk about ecosystem, this ecosystem is imported from biology, from science, which means there is interconnected elements or factors which interact with each other. So here, when we talk about entrepreneurship ecosystem, we talk about how the entrepreneurs interact working in their environment. So let's have a look here about the ecosystem. If we look here to entrepreneurship ecosystem, we found it consists of 4 pillars: personal enablers, access to finance, business services enablers, government regulation enablers. So entrepreneurs often are the middle and they affected by all those factors. When we talk about personal enablers, we talk about developing skills, we talk about entrepreneurship education, the culture, all those factors affecting personal enablers, affecting entrepreneurs. And this is the key factor for entrepreneurs to take initiative to bear the risk. Then we move to the second enabler. This is access to finance. I'm entrepreneurs, I have an idea, I'm willing to take initiative, I'm willing to bear the risk, but I haven't financed. I should think about how to get money, how to finance my idea. And there are different sources starting from equity, government grants, VC, banks, all those, there are different sources of fund. And then we move to the third enablers, talk about business services. This is include professional services, include business incubators, other supporting services to enablers. All those enablers couldn't work without government regulation. It looks like someone who would like to drive a car. He needs knowledge before starting to drive a car. He needs money to buy a car. He needs services for his car. But he couldn't drive a car without regulation. And this is similar. We need regulation related to starting a new business, business legislation, IP protection, all those factors affecting entrepreneur ecosystem. So where is universities in this ecosystem? We found here university contribute to the ecosystem in 2 ways. First way is knowledge accumulation. That is, university is a producer of knowledge, is a producer of innovation, is a producer of ideas. So here university play an important role in knowledge accumulation. Second part, that is university play an important role, is education. University prepare entrepreneurs. Universities, they have different programs. Nowadays, a lot of programs, even academic program, executive program, professional program. There are variety of programs which support entrepreneurs. So we can come out here and say that the university contribute to entrepreneurship ecosystem in terms of technology transfer. They transfer technology. Most innovation started in labs and then it start to grow and spin off our universities. And then we have entrepreneurship education, a lot of programs as I mentioned. Okay, let me go to our experience in Qatar University. As we know, all GCC countries rely heavily on oil and gas, and all of them looking for economic diversification. We would like to diversify our economy. How we can diversify our economy? There are two ideas here that is entrepreneurship come from. One is necessity, that is, there is unemployment issue and we would like to create jobs. So entrepreneurship, this is one way to create jobs. This situation is not existing in Qatar, is not existing in most GCC countries because they are labor imported. There are a lot of expats, then there is no issue for employment. But the issue here of exploring opportunities. Here we'd like to diversify economy. There are a lot of opportunities in terms of for entrepreneurs. We have here, like in Qatar, we have Qatar National Vision 2030, and it mentioned clearly that achieving sustainable economic development. So achieving sustainable economic development rely heavily on economic diversification. How does the university here contribute to economic diversification? We contribute through human development, and this is our role as a university. And we also support entrepreneurs to produce new idea, to produce new product, new process, new services. So in Qatar University, we have like a strategic plan for entrepreneurship. This is strategic plan started 2017 until 2020. So it's 5 years strategic plan. The strategic plan here, there are 3 key players: College of Business, College of Engineering, and Research Office. Those are the key player for entrepreneurship ecosystem within the university. In College of Business, we have academic programs. We have minor in entrepreneurship, which is limited, is only for business student, but we are planning to open for all Qatar University students, regardless of their discipline, minor in entrepreneurship. Second, we have here non-academic programs within Center for Entrepreneurship. We deliver a lot of executive programs, a lot of professional training to support entrepreneurs. We have also academic research, which is almost empirical research, applied research. We go out and examine what is the issue, what's the challenge to entrepreneurs, and come out by recommendation which can help policy makers. Then second pillar here, we have College of Engineering. They have a lot of initiative. They have some academic courses to support entrepreneurs, and they do research which lead to new products or new services. And all those activities need technology transfer office. We need IB office. We have here IB office, which working to support entrepreneurs, innovators, to protect their idea. Then I will give you an idea what we are doing here in Center for Entrepreneurship, because the bulk of strategic planning we implement it the bulk. So here, let's have a look here. What we are doing in Center for Entrepreneurship. Our initial concern here is how to change student mindset. A student here is different than student in US and student in Western countries. Student here, they have everything. So you need different approach, different mechanism to change their mindset. To draw their attention is not only the job. You need different track here to discover opportunities. You need to enable them to find opportunities. So we run different programs. training programs, awareness program to change student mindset. And this is important for us because by the end of the day, we found some students who are willing to take the risk, who have idea and willing to work in this idea. Then we go to research. We do a lot of academic research, as I will explain later, and we have business incubation. So in terms of training, we have different training program. It starts like gradual from introductory program like Riyada training program to professional program like hard skills, accounting, finance, legal aspect, IB. And then we also deliver training program to outsiders. So this is a training part. Then we go to here to research. Actually, research is important. Even like academic research, we don't do much like academic research, but we do research which is related to environment. We work in ecosystem, identify where is the issue. Sometimes we find the issue related to finance, related to starting a new business regulation. Or sometimes the attitude, something related to psychology. As I mentioned, here the environment is totally different than the environment in somewhere else. So we need to find the way to encourage students to entrepreneurs. So we do research related to human behavior, entrepreneurship education, and the challenge here to change the mindset. For business incubation, actually business incubation is like pre-incubation, is not full-fledged business incubation. The idea here that is there are a lot of outside university business incubation, full-fledged business incubation. So what we are doing here, we start by student idea. We help them to develop their idea and we coach them how to develop your idea further. We give them some consulting. We help them to do business plan or go for market research. Once his idea is ready for pitching and grow, we advise them, okay, you can go to other business incubation available in the country. Like we have Qatar Incubation Center, which is the biggest incubation center in the country. And they have a lot of facilities. So we work with other external party to support our students, to enable them to be entrepreneurs, to spin off their business idea and to work in the market. Also, an important aspect, we do networking. Networking here in terms of events, in terms of matchmaking. We have a regular event for matchmaking. Student, they don't know what is going outside, and outsider, they don't know what is going inside the university. So we run annual event about matchmaking. So student, investors, and business owners, businessman or business community, they know what is going inside university related to entrepreneurship.
Let me know where we are on that. That'd be great. Thanks.
So this is roughly what we are doing for supporting entrepreneurship. So to conclude my presentation, that universities here have important role, especially in Gulf countries, to change the student mindset, to contribute to economic diversification, and to have a new generation of startup business owner, which can play important role in the future. Thank you for your attention. And if you have any question, I'm happy to take, I think I still have 2 minutes, one question or two questions. Thank you.
Mahmoud, let me, if I can, just ask one question. I see what you're doing in helping the entrepreneurs get started and the training. I like the idea of changing their mindset because, as you know, entrepreneurs think much differently than other type, even business people. The biggest problem I see entrepreneurs having is raising capital. And I know you mentioned that you assist with the business plan, which obviously is very important and it can be pitched. But are there adequate sources of capital and other financing available to these young entrepreneurs?
I think from my experience, capital is not issue because Qatar here is a rich country, and we have Qatar Development Bank. They have different program. They started by الضمين. This is ضمين like a collateral program to support entrepreneurs. They gave them guarantees to access to loans. And this is insured loan. So if there is any case, this loan is insured by Qatar Development Bank. So this is, and then they started angel investors, and they have programs for seed fund. So to be honest with you, like fund is not a big issue. The challenge here is a changing mindset. Like every student, when he come to you, he said, oh, I have a job. There is a job waiting me. So what is the point to go to start a new idea or to take a risk? So you like them, okay, even you have a job, think in extra income. Think about opportunities available in your country. This is what we would like to draw out the attention of our student. Yeah.
Excellent. I think all that is real good. Makes a lot of sense. I think you're very fortunate, Qatar being in the position it is, that it's able to provide capital to startups. I know in many other places, raising capital and getting adequate financing has to be the most difficult part. So I guess we want to thank Mahmoud for his paper. We're ready to move on, I think, to the next paper. Let's see, the next one is Jeffrey Millanet. I hope I pronounced that correctly. He's president and founder.
Yes, pronounced it correctly.
I did, thank you. And he's president and founder of Innovative Partners in the USA. Jeff? Are you here, Jeff?
Yes, Mike, he is here and texts me. He's ready to start, but I don't know.
Okay.
He need to have the mic.